All right, so we're going to do orthographic 1, and this is a new activity for us because what we're doing is we're going to be drawing in the three-quarter view. So before we were taking the isometric drawing and we were essentially creating the top, front, and side, but now we're going to be doing the opposite. So the nice thing is it's really not obviously that much different in the sense that I'm going to approach this the same way that I approach the other drawings, which is I figure out the corresponding views, and so I typically try to define the space. So I know that there's an angle there, there's an angle here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 up, so I'm good. So then I'll just go ahead and just create this box for myself, this cube, and I'll define that. Makes it a lot easier for me. All right, so what's tricky about this is I'm not just, it'd be great if I could just take this face and put it on here and then take the side and put it on here, but it obviously is a three-dimensional object and has depth, so I can't really do that. But what I can do then is I can say, all right, so this is going to be the right side, and I can tell that it's got this flat plane here, and I know that because if I look on the corresponding view in the front, it's flat. And so I know if I count this grid, which I'll go ahead and do I'll go ahead and do this. I do this honestly because it just, I tend to make mistakes when I go quickly. It may not be the most attractive thing on the sheet, but it just makes it easier. And then I'll just correspond over here. And that way I have a reference. And I typically would call this kind of my 0, 0. If you get into CAD, you would understand what that means, or you probably already do in geometry, X, Y, and Z, the Cartesian coordinate system. So here's my 0, 0. It's giving it to me down here. There's my 0. So it's already given that to me. So let's just create this face. I know it's got the face. So typically what I do in these projects is I just go with what it gives me. If it's giving me this face, I'm not going to stress about any angles. I'll just go ahead and draw this face in. I can see by that dotted line here that it's got this tunnel in here. So it's got a hole that goes all the way through the object. So I've got that face figured out. And honestly, let's just deal with what it gives me. So I can take the side view here, and I know that that's a flat plane. So I can just, from here, let's just work backwards. I'm just going to go down and all the way to the back. I'm not even going to worry about trying to figure out any angles. It's too complicated for me right now. But then I'll go 1, 2, 3 over, and that's the intersection. And so let's just make it easy on myself. I'll just make that intersection right there. Okay, so I've got that plane. I'm not going to worry about the angle, and let's just do this. I know it's got a little top. This is like a little, almost like a little shoe. So let's go ahead in the top view. I can tell it's 1, 2, 3 over and 1, 2, 3, 4 back. So I'll just go across. All right. So that's good. And then, this is pretty straightforward. I know that there's an angle here, so there's nothing back there. And so I can pretty much figure out what's going to happen here. So it's going to look something like that. All right. And then to make it a little easier for myself, let's just erase what I don't need so I'm not confused. Joe, am I missing anything? Any lines, do you think?
Are we doing hidden lines?
Well, let's just say we're not right now.
Oh, okay.
If I wasn't doing hidden lines, am I done?
The right side.
Okay. What about the right side?
Oh, right where the little tunnel is.
Abner, you're back. Okay, so right there, what I have to put in is the tunnel, right? Is that what you're talking about, Abner?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now I think I'm done.